and welcome to the Stan Simpson Show, a program about Connecticut people and compelling issues. Make it a point to drop it every week. She is a pop icon, Lady Gaga, whose credo is to reaffirm society's disenfranchised. She dropped her latest album, Born This Way, and it's a smash, folks. Expected to sell 800,000 copies in the first week. Hartford Courant music critic Eric Danton joins us for a chat about the phenom that is Gaga, and he gives us the lowdown on the local music scene. In our second segment, we'll talk about the new, tougher academic standards for college athletics and why the UConn men's basketball team is not making the grade. University of Hartford President Walt Harrison, who chairs the NCAA Oversight Committee, and Hartford Courant sports writer Zach Boyer stopped by to give us their perspective about the new rule and how it could impact recruiting. Then we'll wrap things up by introducing you to the best magnet school in America, and it's located in Hartford. But first, Gaga over Gaga. Take a look. All right, quite an outfit for Lady Gaga. Eric Danton,
as usual,
Hartford Courant music critic. I can see now why it sold 800,000 copies in the first week. She's a phenom. What's driving her success? Just the clothes or lack of?
That is a lot of it, actually, Stan. Yeah, so much of what she does is about her image. It's at least as important as the music for her. She's trying to appeal to a certain segment of people, as you said, coming in, the sort of people who think of themselves as disenfranchised somehow or disconnected from society in a larger way. And so she wears outlandish things, and she does outlandish things, and she says outlandish things. And lo and behold, all that attention is driving album sales.
You had in your story she's obsessed with the obsessed, and that she's sort of someone who folks with self-esteem issues seem to gravitate to her. And she's found an audience. That's a large population out there, right? Folks who are maybe not comfortable in their own skin or who feel ostracized and want to feel that it's okay to be me.
That's absolutely right. The song that we were just listening to, Born This Way, that's the whole theme of that song is, you know, it's okay no matter who you are, whether you're gay or straight, male or female, black or white or whatever. You were born this way, embrace it, love it, be that. That's fine. Or, you know, even if you were born, you know, she's been big into lesbian, gay, transgender issues as well.
If you're emerging issue, right?
Very much so, you know. So she is seen as a sort of advocate for that kind of thing, too. If you were born a man but feel you should be a woman, then maybe, you know, inside you were born that way, and embrace that.
It takes a lot of guts to really embrace that whole audience and to really market to it, right?
Absolutely.
To some degree, a marketing genius, right? There's an untapped audience out there with money.
Yes, yeah. I mean, she got her start in clubs. She has a predominantly gay audience at first because she'd be played in dance clubs, and she has expanded from there, obviously, into arenas worldwide. I mean, her Monsters Ball tour lasted months and months and months and took her all over the world.
So is there substance behind the sizzle? Is she simply a marketing genius, or does she have skills?
You know, it's a little bit of both. There is substance. Her genius really is that there's just enough kind of surface-level philosophizing in these songs to draw you in a little bit, but not enough to detract from the pounding dance beats. So you can dance to it without having to think too much about it, but there's a little bit of food for thought there if you want that.
So what's next for her now? Can she sustain this pace, the provocatively clad entertainer with the platform? I mean, do they fizzle out in the long term, or can she sustain?
Well, that's a fair question, in part because everything she does, she follows up with something even bigger. And it's hard to you know, there comes an end point where what do you do to top it? You know,
less clothes.
Yeah, or weird clothes. I mean, she showed up at an award show in a meat dress, for example, and then at the Grammys she arrived encased in an egg. So, you know, you do those sorts of outlandish things, and it takes a little bit of attention away from what got her there, which still is the music. I mean, image and message and all that is still servicing the music. So if you're detracting too much attention from the music, the question is, well, what happens to you? It's too early to say. I mean, I think the next thing for her will be another gigantic concert tour. And then what she does after that, can she sustain this level of interest? It's hard to say. I mean, Madonna, who is very much an influence on Lady Gaga,
sure.
she's done it for, 25, almost 30 years now. Can Gaga? I don't know. I honestly don't know.
You know, Beyonce out there trying to do the very same thing now. How do you compare Beyonce with Gaga? And she's doing some things now with a new video. We'll get to that in 1 second. But how do you compare those two talents and their audiences and their marketing styles?
Gaga writes her songs and sings them. So she's kind of a self-contained unit in that sense. Beyonce has incredible pipes. She sings like nobody else. But she's more of an interpreter. So in that sense, she requires a little bit more around her to get it done. Gaga can write it, record it, and go out and perform it. And Beyonce needs more of a team to get it done. That said, long-term, Beyonce could end up being the bigger star just because she's a little bit more accessible. She's a little bit less weird.
And got Jay-Z behind her, right?
And she's got Jay-Z, and there's nothing wrong with having Jay-Z behind you.
And here's her video, Run the World Girls. I think we have something from her. Here's her video, Run the World Girls. Latest video. Yeah. Take a listen. Now, the actual single wasn't really that well received, but the video, I guess, is there to sort of help to augment it, right? Take a listen. Girls, so what do you think? She kind of mailed this one in and just figured, let me do a video to kind of get a little more money?
Sound-wise, the song reminds me of something that MIA would have done. And the video is you know, like a grander scale version of Michael Jackson's Bad, kind of, you know, there's armies clashing, you know, street fights
so she just
in the
banged
desert.
this one out, you're saying, huh?
I don't know if she banged it out. I mean, this was clearly filmed a little while ago because she's now expecting, so there's no sign of that in the video anyway.
See, now I didn't know she was expecting. See, that's where you're closer to the scene than I am. I didn't realize she was expecting. So
she and Jay-Z are expecting their first child.
Okay,
yeah,
I didn't know that.
Right.
So you're enlightening me there. Okay, so she's got to kind of hold back a little bit more of these performances until she gives birth. Right?
Yeah, I don't know what the release date is for the album. I haven't actually looked to see when this album is due, but it'll be a little while before she does a whole lot of on-the-road promotion, concert tour, that kind of thing.
How about the release date for the child? Date out there yet?
It's got to be soon. I think there started to be talk early this year about her being pregnant. So
quite a DNA on that, huh? Jay-Z and Beyonce, right?
There's a lot of star power embedded in that child's DNA.
About 1:30, local scene. I saw your story. You mentioned that the Comcast Theater did a great year last year, considering the economics weren't great.
They did surprisingly
They did well
last year,
as far as their numbers, although money-wise they're behind. So people came out there, but they made less money than last year. Explain that.
They discounted a lot of tickets. Live Nation did all these promos last year, you know, no service fee Wednesdays, and they would put tickets on sale, and then a couple weeks later drop the price of them significantly. So people waited until the tickets went on sale and bought the on-sale tickets, which is good. That brought their volume up. But because they were buying on sale tickets at a cheaper price, it didn't do as much for their bottom line as they wanted. They also had a lot of shows, so you know you spread out the attendance over more shows. You can have the people there and not necessarily make the money that you're wanting to.
That's good for overall branding, though, right? Maybe the ticket prices are lower, get people out there, at least can get the flow going, keep the branding going.
Frankly, the ticket prices need to be lower. That's one of the issues really affecting the concert industry, is they're just too high. In these uncertain economic times, people are not willing to drop $150 or $200 or even more than that on tickets. You know, for a family, if you want to take your family to a show, it could cost you $500-600.
Right. So correction is in order, right? Like everything else.
Absolutely, it is.
All right. Next up is the gas prices, right? We'll get them down too. All right. All right. He's Eric Danton, folks. When we come back, we'll talk about new, tougher academic standards for college athletics and what the UConn men's basketball team has to do to make the grade. Remember, you can watch the show 24/7 at ctnow.com/Stan. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Don't go away.